soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
Hey folks, welcome back to King Gunsmith. Today we're going to be looking at the Mosin Nagant 9130 bolt in the firing pin protrusion. And in the last video we covered, how to space it and check for it. And today we're going to be covering how to fix it in case it is sticking out, the pin sticking out too far, or it's not sticking out far enough to where it needs to get a healthy primer strike. Again, as I covered in the last video of checking it, it's a very important thing to check, because if you're getting too much of a primer strike, that could blow gas back in your face. It could cause all sorts of problems, jammed casings, things like that. You're just getting too much gas, come back. You want all that gas pressure to go forward towards the barrel, not in the breech end. But what we want to do is make sure that this is in check. So go ahead and check out the last video on how to check this using your supplied tool. And today we're going to go ahead and look at how to fix the problem in case you're out of check by checking with the tool. So I went ahead and purposely made this bolt sticking out a bit too far just for demonstration purposes. The amount I did it is most likely not what you're going to experience, but anything could happen, especially if you're new. So let's go ahead and look at the bolt. It looks pretty normal right now. It's really not until you start looking at the back. You can kind of see, get it closer real quick. You can kind of see, how that screw, it's not going in. It's way too far, and you can noticeably tell that's not flush up against the metal. You can kind of put your finger in there, and there's a little dip. So we're going to just show you how to fix that. And all you guys are going to need is the supplied that comes in your cleaning kit, the supplied little screwdriver combo tool that can check the spacing as well. And again, we're going to check to make sure that the spacing is okay after we fix the firing pin. So what you're going to want to do is, first we're going to do a primary check just to make sure. And you'll notice it's a bit harder if the firing pin is sticking out. So we're just going to go ahead and give it a tap here. And we're going to go ahead and do our spacing checks. And you can see right off the bat, we are way too far sticking out. And if you're trained eye, you know how they're supposed to look. You can pretty much tell that's not acceptable. That's sticking out way too far. That's going to give you really deep primer strikes. Could cause some gas blowback, and really you're not getting the efficiency of the rifle. And this is very, you need to be safe with your firearms. You need to make sure they're performing as checked. Honestly, guys, if you have all matching bolt parts, things like that, you're not going to have too many issues that can't be fixed. If you start matching parts, then you might run into some trouble. But for the most part, this bolt is completely, original. The entire gun's actually original. Even the bayonet, I kind of got lucky with this model. Not this model, but this Mosin. Of course, it's a 9130. But it's just important to check these things and keep them, perfect. Because you want to have the most efficient functioning rifle. So, like I said, we're sticking way too far. You can see that that's not even passing over that. Oops, let me get that. That's completely unacceptable. That's dangerous. It's getting stuck in there. So what we're gonna do is simply go ahead and do a little disassembly here. Just kind of take these, your catch in there, and you're gonna take your guide rod out. And you're just going to be exposed with this. And what we're going to do is take our tool and pick a notch. I usually go with the middle, anything that's convenient. Whatever fits for you, go for the end. And we're going to go ahead and rotate this back. Oops, we're going to go ahead and rotate this back to clockwise, if you're going this way, so clockwise. And we're going to go ahead and seat that back in just a bit. And the fun fact about a Mosin, I've never seen a bolt that doesn't have these. It's very rare that they don't. You might not even discover one that doesn't have them. But they have these little etchings here that are flat, and that should line up with your bolt. The firing pin, the back of the firing pin. It should all be one straight line where the screw head right here for the back of the firing pin lines up with these etchings. And the camera's not going to want to focus in, but there's little etchings here, look like they're penciled in. So that's the most easiest way to get on target, quote unquote, and then you can do fine adjustments here and there. But we're going to go ahead and get on that, and then we're going to go ahead and reassemble real quick. Put our rod back on there. I'm trying to do this through the viewfinder, so just bear with me here. And we're going to go ahead and do that. Put our catch right back on there. Put that right there. Okay, so as you can see, we're going to go ahead and do, like I said in the last video, you want to go ahead and tap down, make sure everything's secure. And right now you can see that we're on the money. This is no longer getting catched here. We're passing our checks. But this is still a bit too far sticking out. It's still getting a bit hung up in there. And of course that is a no-go. So we're going to want to go ahead and back the pin down just a bit more. So we're going to go clockwise. Again, if you're facing this way, clockwise, we're going to back it just a bit and go ahead and attach our rod and catch back in. Like so. Bear with me here. Get this back in. Okay. Alright, so that's back in now, and we'll do a check. And that's about where we want to be right there, guys. We want to be able to pass there easily and barely be touching the top of that. You don't want to be up against it to where you can't, you know, the pin can't pass through under that check right there. So you want to be about right there, where you're easily passing through this notch right here, and then on this notch, this lower notch, you want to be barely passing through. But this notch, you want to have a lot of space there. So that's pretty much how to fix it. You know, just kind of fine tune it, play around with it. You know, it doesn't have to be precise. As I said in the last video, guys, you know, these are surplus rifles. These are military built rifles. You know, they don't have to be baby TLC. You know, they were mass produced. You know, they had their stuff down, their quality down. You know, they're not the most beautiful things in the world, but they're sure functioning if you take care of them. And you know, they're not the most picky bolts, you know, parts and things like that. So just as long as you're in the money there, you know, you're not going to have a whole lot of problems. Just, it's always important to keep these things in check because you want a good functioning rifle and you want to be safe. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I hope this video was a help to you. I hope you guys have a nice day, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.